boys and girls. We are starting our next lesson, a continuation of our one that we started last week. I'm really excited. I love your 3D cities. They're absolutely gorgeous. Wow, the buildings are beautiful. The CN Tower. I saw apartment buildings, beautiful buildings coming up on your coordinate grids. Okay, so today we're going to continue right along. And I have two boxes here. I have organic, there we go, chicken broth. One that's opened, that I've cut from the top, one that's not. So the first thing we're going to do today is to figure out the volume. What is the volume of this box? Now, boys and girls, the volume means, and it's easier if I use this one, the amount of space that this box takes up. So we're not looking at what's inside of it. We're looking at how much this shape takes up in the area around it. Okay, so we're going to find out how big this shape is. How big is the volume? So we know from last week we started that base times height, so there we go, that's 6 centimeters, times 9 centimeters equals 54 centimeters squared. Now we know that is the base. We've done the area of the base quite a few times. We know that we just multiply those two numbers. And now, like we did last week, we're going to take a look at it again. We're going to say 54 centimeters because we know it's length times width times height. What is the height? Let's take a look. The height is 19 and a half. Can you see that? 19 and a half centimeters. So, length times width times height, 54 centimeters squared times 19.5 centimeters equals 1,053 centimeters cubed. Remember that there's a little 3 that goes in there now. We use the 2 here, but now instead of squared, it's cubed. And here we go, 19 and a half times 54. I know we've looked at multiplication so much this year, but I did it for you anyway. Okay, so we know that the volume equals 1,053 centimeters cubed. Now we're going to look at the capacity. The capacity is a little different. Now it tells us here that the capacity is 1 liter. 1 liter. That L stands for 1 liter. So we're going to find out if that actually is the capacity. So I'm going to take my lovely box that I cut out. We know the volume now. Now we're going to find out the capacity. Now I'm going to come around over here, and here's 1 liter of water. You see that, boys and girls? 1 liter. See that? It's 1 liter, and 1 liter is equal to 1,000. Come right up, boys and girls, so you can see this, please. Milliliters. So 1 liter, 1 equals 1,000 milliliters. So we're going to go ahead and see if it is true what they said. Is there 1 liter of water in here? Wow, that's pretty close. That looks pretty close to me. So if you come and look right inside of this box, boys and girls, you're going to see that there's a little bit of space. Now, they left a little bit of space so they could put this top on. But we know there's not actually 1 liter in here. So I'm going to add a little bit more. So here I have, and I just have to turn it around, 300 milliliters. Now I don't think I'm going to need all of that, but let's take a look. Okay, so I'm going to fill it right up to the top. Okay, let's take a look how much I have left. I had 300 to start, and now I have 180 milliliters. Okay, so we can see, wow, there's a little difference here. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. So I now know that there is actually 1 liter, and I'm going to come around, you can stay there, 1 liter, but there's also, how much did I say? 80 milliliters. 80 milliliters. So there's 1,080 milliliters. Wonderful. Okay, boys and girls, so I just went and dumped out the water because now we're going to measure the mass. So what is the mass? We've looked at the volume. That's how much space this takes up. We've looked at the capacity, how much goes inside. And now we're going to measure the mass. However, I have a problem. All of my wonderful little scales are at school. They're in my school cupboard. In fact, I don't even have any in my kitchen that I can use because I took all of them from my kitchen. And they're all in our school, in my drawer. So I'm very sad. But this is to give you a visual representation. This, of course, is a scale that I would step on to see how much I weigh. So even if I put this on, which I did, it's not going to do anything. Take a look here, boys and girls. Look at the measurement. It's not going to do anything. It's just saying 0 pounds. So I need one of my tiny scales from school. So what is mass? It is simply how much something weighs. Okay, wonderful. We're going to go right as usual to the whiteboard. I'll see you there. Hi, boys and girls. So we are here now at our very fancy whiteboard. And we're going to start with area again. I know that you know that, but we're going to take a very quick look. How do we find the area? Length times the width. We're going to take a look quickly at the area of a rectangle. 8 centimeters times 5 centimeters equals, drum roll, that is correct. Those of you that got it, I know you all did, 40 centimeters squared. And we know that squared means that it's 40 centimeters with a tiny little 2. Okay, now we're going to move right along. And we're going to take a look at volume. How do we find the volume? Length, width, and height. Here we go, length, here's our width, here's the height. Okay, so we're going to look at our first example. 16 times 9 times 4. Now I'm not going to give you the answer because I would love you to put the answer on Google Classroom on the stream. And if you think, first of all, put your answer down. And if you think that your classmate's answer is not correct, give your idea and tell them why or why not. So example number 1, you're going to put on Google Classroom Stream. And let's take a look at example number 2. Here we go. 15 inches times 8 inches times 4 inches. There you go. Please put up your answer on Google Stream for example number 2. Okay, now we're just going to look at our last 2 things here. So here is This is not your 3D city. This is somebody's 3D city. You can see that my battery's running low, so I'll have to finish up on my whiteboard here quickly. So your 3D city, I can't wait to see them. I love what you've done, by the way. Some of you have done the most amazing things. I would like you to find the volume of your buildings in your 3D city. Please do not unstick your building. Some of you have actually glued your buildings down. Some of you have made 3D trees to go around it, roads, crosswalks, cars. So please don't take these off. You're just going to measure it. You're going to measure the length, the width, and the height. And on a separate piece of paper, I would like you to write the name of your building and the volume for your building. Okay. And so the other thing I would like you to do is to find the capacity, not of the buildings on your 3D city. We know that if you put sand or water or anything in your beautiful, beautiful paper buildings, that you're going to ruin them. But I'd like you to go around your house or outside and find 5 objects in your house, and please find the capacity. And you know you can find the capacity in many different ways. You could fill something with flour to find the capacity, water, whatever it is. So you're just going to find 5 different things. And when you find these things, I'm going to give you a Google Doc. Please, on your Google Doc, write your 5 objects. Okay, and the last thing. Here we go. I am also going to be posting word problems. So very important. Let me just go back to that. It went a little bit too fast. Please try to work on the word problems. You have 2 days to work on it. Work on your 3D city, and I will see you later on today on Google Meet. I can't wait.